Aljay mobe dawda din ton nga fale ko ala baraka bake. Welcome to Global Rainbow TV. Comme ça han sandron kal hakilo bulandi na loko loko kachalamu nka fo me ko National Youth Engagement on Irregular Migration to moment na Gambia funding ke jama bi jeto million lom ko ifatuta jio kono abala fa warta baka ni ku ya warta wala kenande na tanyim programme nati nko ngamol nati platform auto ni ye kacha bakwe nyin na kola o kola itel fanal be kol million ko be ya bango kam pour kata ke la kata kol fintindi nam bantoto e bajala ko asi encouragement o di tol fanalla mati me yalon ko abe Gambia le bare abukeje bare tubabol ko nyadi disability does not mean inability so wala mo nabe kacha sot la boy putung si fan introduce no more demanding ya school okay min tole laftole lon na demanding for long.
Yes, abaraka bake ya mwa kumata bake no school dati blog ka hami GOVI wala kata Gambia Organization for the Visually Impaired.
Okay.
Karamu mi alon ko dimentol kata wala wala multi mi alon ko ale wala bali nyala wala ila nyala jero fana buka jamfa bake. Yeah, so school in that world.
Okay.
In Banjul then later to Kanifing.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, abaraka bake. Kaje ko inya buka jero ke kata GOVI kono. Could you remember wato laila ta karambunto e kamun kolea kulle soto ning atare ko kafuta karambunto warante karambun fan kono jeto e kamun kolea kulle soto jeto ning atata kaje ko inya abuka jero keno.
Well, in the early days, Maro Dolby, there was a time, Msavo Jamafana Biye, Kolako Munye, Nyaji Wolom, maybe at some point, because Moto Katar Munjel Mialam Kolka Dinol Samba, Kenati Anike Samba, but then, there was a point, Fanang, to Mialonko Motoni problem. So, Danaka. Munginaka problem but all time in such situations sakat wani moto mana because it took a while
Jani after school
so what all kono
okay
after school it takes a lot of time pure moto so especially in even
okay nim moto manna jeto most of the time ika alkamol le soto mul yalon ko kal dandan school to jeto e bajala ko alkana perdi school to right.
Yeah, that depends on ita mari la family la Kenya yeah, some were very fortunate but then dolphin BJ at the time the only advantage they have all into go the only opportunity they are looking for all on the motor na samba so on a very unfortunate day the motor manna it's either ita mari muru or maybe fani mo karan sort of me makola pure ke futani but dol bije mo buka tara welfare so
okay
dol buka mo ke mo ben opportunity sort of
okay that's very important comme ça wokole ko ita tambita wokole ko lale ya lonko ka futa GOVI to amo fenne te mi ya lonko kole ata bake andum dindi ngun mel ya lonko be banko kanje to be nyanta ka kran lukare on sotole surtout mo mel ya lonko e be tala samato nyin kono nyin karola hanisain ibe mon advice le di la man sakunda la kaje ko dindi ngun mel ya lonko fana man jata kende a soto bake surtout mel ya lonko e buke jeno kende ke pour mansa fanan sikato lafa kendeke bakanne pour iso dinde unta se mako rol ke la kendeke what will be your advice to the government pour kaje ko situation o dol bije to maybe ko dol sitar do kanne wol dol be tala no la nyaadile
select it speech off
all right yeah mumbije wala nyinte ko for a system will put in place like to yaro comme ya fanya kata ko be fere mbakele but then one unfortunately wala into ko lual min bijang lual be betiari mbake but then sometimes luka lual nil implement wala ke kolya ko dolete to nyalong waro dol fo boso ni wala moto min kadinol kama waro do tarde o sekenole mol dol pour kalit wala boso ni moto ni dang so nol kada ni system correct system be put in place ring so ibajalo dino hatra moto ye dang esa futunos pulle on time atare la karan wato te danna so wala bije nyanda mo be nyanda ka kata is a collective responsibility kabiri man sakunda la fanna la ko ntol banko dingol mo be nyanda ka kata la kajo ko system mo nya gina sonea mo be ibajalo ko sometimes aka kolya bagere mo kata karan moto but then ni moto ku ni moto ni sida mo be ku da manne so ni mari mu lanjur toti not only million ke la nyala jero man jamfa but disability in the at large pre moto ni akokoleal because mo be katara if on da manne so at the end of the day waro dol e da mala katara je so e da katara la mo kana fani mo be ya soro wala mo jama ya soro then water already tade mo be kala e tade tal o katara anu karon mu found min dum yalon ko ni e dan wato minna e buko wato soro no
okay that's very good okay ila camera off tale malong for lampole tata I don't know
yeah Kurang tata janna
Kurang tata okay no don't worry Byron Kurang tata let's see Fabina okay that's very good thank you so much okay at that particular time two women na kata karamunto GOVI to jeto dindin siata bake karamunto jeto niba moto kono bita kan jeto at that particular time ke fanje nyaadi le wodulato kaje ko benyin situation o men kono ike fanje nyaadi le society nyin kono jeto ike fanje le ko we want to know this because model bi ni banyin condition si fal kono maybe model si ku model fo model si je nyaado ma asike fente me ya lonko maybe ate diala ike fanje society kono nyaadile because we want to break that barrier.
Yeah, come you have kuma sometimes come new situation si va kono depende da waro dole mari le ye fan comport no nyame la comport no be nyam but then it's very good ni mumbe ni level of especially ni karanda at least etala jernya ani mo la jernya ka fata ni be o situation si va kono e kajal model bi je ni wol kajal ko ete ku ko tan ko ndam karan ko ida dole yaje ko ida be sada dan ko sada danol do wale kada la dum ko be sada la nyin kanji so but then gradually, more the concept can change because the more eka active or eka finti back and or lal to taring, the more any more la connection ka dunyo kono fana, the more fana more la perception ka change. But even though still it's a problem sometimes put a model la mindset no. But the moto kono, sometimes eko si fal jale do moto kono. Wala man jani ka do moto fangor sometimes diamo fanga sia waldo. So like I do moto jani ka moto nyene fam diamo bina fole ko no ni manke lift as if comme never leave le leave la nyene kan or free motor la nyene kan pour ka join. So yeah, so some of those are the issues me along ko what do they call dol face le so dol bi jol kajal drum maybe you are just somebody me along ko maybe I can attend you have no other thing to do.
Okay. Society fanan kono mola perceptional fanal they are different ika mol je nyame jeto sutu mulya lonko lanjurto la mu nyal mandia warante lanjurto in general mol ka perceptional men soto ila karola amu fennete me yalanko sometimes aka ajakalo ka wara bake society kono be muna fola society ne kaje ko lanjuro be la ba lanjuro te la bang ntol be mu kilinete what we need here kanyo support e be muna fola society e wo karola
Mr. Ture ni ajibe fanan fam lanjuro betala lanjuro dal comme na kafunya wado ya funya lanjuro mo bella at some point you for family tare je mi alon ko o manke fendi mi ka timata hanya tare kanjina le or whatever from bijal mi alon ko dal mo dole da wala ta fana mo soto so lanjuro la beldo maybe you know mo sense organ de mi alon ko kuma ya baka ni nata hada madi wala baluoto pour que society la perception will change we start from homes we start on the soul la fon kono depend the family members all follow wala ko follow disability manque obstacle pour moy nyanta ka fudam pour way bali ka fudaje You
Yeah,
know,
that's true.
so the moment in a family will help no to reach to a certain level, you know, definitely yeah, more general perception of a change la towards disability in the society. You know, because ila family is the first primary you know contact from
Passing.
place. You know, ni more ni la family la interaction oje in a certain
Yeah,
way. Well, bajala ko okay, tell the family may respect, you know.
yeah.
So ila family mo nyamen ibejala wanya. But in another way around, ila family kada mo ko they care about you. They are always with you. They make sure that your rights are not violated. You know, they can respect level dawada. You know, they always see to it that you are protected in whatever form they can. So
Okay.
bajala ko society bajala ko okay, man ke mo ko lanjuru to kenso damana mate. But nyaje ala family mo le badaka kundo, you know, as a cooker, no, you know. So what we got get down to the you
Society
know
kono.
society.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. What
Bari
we get down to the society. Yeah.
hekatu do wandi ni ajibe fanan kono maybe lanjur tol fanan korda dol kono korda jama fanan bijeto e man soto jeto lanjur tol man soto jeto yo bari e kajale ko mo fanan ka
Yeah.
fintila ne module ben mol dinde on sitarno jeto warante mo ko tawni be blo chodle mari la ibe ibe kumol fole wo be ka soto nole so wala karola lafta men na janto wala munyenti ko society kono in general lanjurtoɓe la korda kono ba tela korda kono ba because nin ala kitta ko kondi na mobu ka kuno woto bari na behavior nyanta falina la towards these people ni fintira sate o kono I think it's important.
Very important, very important, because lanjur to mo molledi comme mo be nyamen doro tarno la ila tuno la bol kono fe fana le finti mo le nyolong fe fana ye dabula society la nyato taro. So ni mi ye jawanya alon ko doro ye hade madon je doro maybe photo de mon ne baltema wala lanjuro mi batala anate tara, you know, bara mangi ko ita sa kudo la keno mi alon ka tate mun keno ata fana sa kudo keno ita fana buka mun keno, you know. So you know, me mol be danela comme mo muhammadu to doro regardless of your ila status be nyamin tamam kumaya lanjuro mbela. But then in fact nale lanjur toje ni mu bent lanjur to fe yanta ka mari mutale, you know, yaje ko ni mu ñom muhammadu ngoldi ni sa kacha ni no ale kacha ni ba ma ko la no ya ma ko ni ta fen fanan keno la ko yeta ya tuje wala fisata ibe chodiro la o iba ba fala ñu fanan kanyina keno ten ande amara ñimman ka fen gati wala ibe miralol fala mi ñalon ko you know jamo sera waro do modol bi ka kodol ka kodol mira la ñu tolla ko to wol ka kole abakele no sakatuma ni wala family ko modol mo yeah. So
Exactly.
comme bi jadron you know momu molti dron,
Exactly.
you know ale mol dal dron mol be man kanyan. So for kole for mole ñoo dan karo dolla, you know, but it doesn't mean ko you are better than the other also. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. Womu fende teme alonka important abake. Naje nganyem point or race because ite mole to mu alonko ala yeke woleti. So baje la ko ela voice fana is very important. Mele alonko be la moro ke kan puri kaje ko lanjuro be la bang emu finkin te woleti bang inya bukeje bang lanjuro be la saje ko be mu kilineti nyanta nyo mutalale nganyo fasa society nyon kono baje la society nyeta because sometimes na society ka lanjur tulun ke muta nyamen ke passive nyamen wol mu fende teme alonko it's very important. Yes, but inclusion of fana is very important. Ni tata government fana na side la lafta ka domandi fengende woto, you know, ngaje ko ni government la position bal fana jibe to molle bije to mele alonko, you know, i manke lanjur tolti comme ça ninga na parliament fana jibe ba jala ko mo e batela ko parliament nyin kono be mo jala jeto maybe mo kilin na me alonko lanjur tolamo, you know, lanjur tol fana ye position bale muta mansa kunda ko na mu fenete me alonka kuma yata bake e ba jala ko tol be category men na fana is all represent. No, these are very important. What do you have to tell to the government and you know your opinion onto that?
Yeah, very good. Yeah, jibe sign to parliament lanjur totally. You know, by the way, in 2018, President Yakuke no mialonko wo kumada no mbakele wala wala mina lanjur to tombong, you know, ka deputy bono. You know, that was I think mialonko o kumada no mbakele o belala no mbakele ba yalako, you know, there are certain decisions, you know, there will be somebody who will be speaking on behalf of the persons with disabilities. But then, Kabiru or the fifth legislature banda, I don't know the sixth one. There is no disability. So near the Bankola Plus all Jibe, I think I'm not very sure for Lanjur Tola because the only key person ngamulong wala into go magistrate lati
Yeah,
ko Lanjur Tola mari.
exactly.
So inclusion of coming from nyami wala promo kamobe daki je nyam ka
Very, yeah, very important.
I think that is the number one issue mi ko sign abe mulbata ni kambake ni nata Lanjur Tola ko jibe because the in decision making either in the parliament or in the executive, there is nobody there. He or she can speak
On
on
behalf of
behalf
the
of
people with
persons with
disabilities.
disabilities. Even though some might argue there is a ministry, responsible for women and gender and social affairs. Yes, which is fine. But then these are key positions, especially in the National Assembly. Lual kadada woloto, anim kukoton executive fanang.
Janta ñi mo
Yeah,
sifal sot la wol fanantole.
nyanda ka musival fanan soto woto fanan do. E ba yelo ko is it coming because I will call ala bakele. Eka decision ota molo ko do miya lonko.
E ma
Ida
long
ma
ital
long
itala
molo
situation
call
kono.
apod.
Yeah. That's true.
But then
That's
more big in a position of influence, kamo babulu. At least in some of those issues, major decision no long. You say in
exactly.
at least if
Yeah.
an idea more to or long persons with disabilities.
Yeah, I
So
think
inclusion on your kumada back.
I think this point is very important because B didn't come back kumala itela kuola asikeno mbe kuodo tula komala but nite found lota dulato e kumatela kuola drong definitely wala mfente me ya lonko ebe feng be fono la e kamen face ka challenges ta e kamel soto society nyin kono so what inclusion on nyin different government la department also they are very very important. Yeah, thank you so much for that. I think it's important ngalon ne ko molbe lamoro ke kanne so we wish maybe sama sinunga nyin sifal soto nitata parliament kono itata different department also. Thank you so much. So iko schooling ke go file kono but jandi nga du wo kono folon ibe muna fola alfalie meli alon ko bi ibe suol kono me ba sikeno dinde be bulu suo kono meli alon ko ila jero man wara bake dinde be bulu suo kono meli alon ko lanjur tol lamu ibe muna fola alfali nyile pour kaje ko wo dinde nyile inyante kila school tole pour kaje ko ite fanan imu lanjur toti nyamen ibukeje bari ifananta da school tole ibe muna fola wo alfali kaje ko ye dewni ye ki suo kono because karamunyin kumatale.
Yeah, abaraka bake, Mr. Ture. Karamo, memu fala alfale wala nyindiko. Karamo dala karanga wanya. Fakata twab karamo de fakata, ara Islam karamo de. Karamo buka manke fenimyo ka kamone ni. Ane nakakuma ya bakele, puru kala njurtulu bula. Ita karamo na. Especially puru ni mo katamale, kafu. Interact. Puru ni mo katamale interact. Because akamunke wala nyintoko aka self-esteem na dina imarina comme ake fon nyandi fon ton ka yitandiko ka joko itani mol mo koton fata tal tema mimba tema doron mu difference je wala ndon ko itela lanjuro nyindi
You can do.
but so sa ni mo tuje wanyama awe school ay maduni school adaka betala bon ko noten doron ni mo lata ni mi $5 soto ya diala ni mi fon ko soto ya diala kandiol nin kuru fenkol doron na sara nin fenkol doron mun bije na meda there'll come a point abala like a fintin but then say a fintinya wa kala issue dol because adalta minna sa ida wotije wala sota aba kola la pruka so wala sa wote o manga fenti o pruka samano wata samano so five in the mol kan so karam kaminge ake nyandi fondole and then fana ke so some degree of independence la comme ke fond sotol for example sande manyame nada nun taman karan kola la nun priya fongana on TikTok same thing because ma fle fenna miyanko ida fam walo tembulu wala bakala simple phone net because near smartphone or use either the smartphone have to speak either in English or in Arabic or any other international language but so near man school it all be You know, so ika
Told me
independent sort
okay.
of backend. Kara jamala, you know.
Okay. Okay, that's very good. That's very good. Wokumata bakele. Na brother soldi na sister sol. Mili alam ko ebe la moro la drum. Na program ola mnyente ngafo ko National Youth Engagement on Irregular Migration. Ka different people all nati na funding ke ol melbe so kono puru niye kachal soto. Puru at least nsi la progressive be kul melke kan so kono nsi wol nyitandi. Ane mfana nsi diamo fana duma silo nye mfana na kuola ane ka advice all day nga wakola fana nsi na ila kata kuli nyilta ke nyitandi. Nimme bijanto wala mo boyti me yalonko ate fana mo lanjur toleti Gambia banko kanjeto. Yes, so thank you so much boy wokuma ata bakele wulula liyo mo sign lafte nyinen kala menna please ali screen all ma please ali live nyentali asia lafte nyinen kala menna iko itata govile mune mo ila doko di sign ten Gambia banko kan.
Yeah, I'm young GOVI on basic lati then primary school ka world.
Okay, ila doko mune di sign ten.
Sign them mo calendar lalde. I'm a teacher, qualified teacher.
Qualified teacher.
Yeah.
Okay, that's very good. Okay, qualified teacher. Mbe futala woto fananto le nyato do mandin drong as a qualified teacher. Sai kabri bota GOVI time o menna itata school jumale to.
Yeah, kami bota GOVI nata new yundum primary.
Okay.
Ngana primary school complete also. Then to Minda upper basic.
Okay.
Then to Masumu senior secondary. Then to the Gambia College.
Gambia College. Okay, that's very good. So amufenete me alonka kole atabake comme ça ila conditiono benyamin yenyin dual bema yen school bema for senior secondary school. Am I easy? Definitely. Am I easy?
Yeah.
So challenges ka soto jetole because kata school auto ten is not going to be easy. Found someone ola comme ça ya fo nyamen ida moto lebine sambala warante ni moto manna modo lebena la pour que isamba karambunto. Omo fenete me alonka import muna kenandi ima relax e continue ta for senior secondary school mun courage le soto nun kaje ko onko nte jifof la mbe karannale still na fonga futa lafita munna mun what can you tell us about that yamu encouragement le soto because ngalo ne ko aka kole mala pour futa school but still now yake katolti pour ka futa jeto but maybe ka fenne aim e kamuna target no wotumono.
Yeah, comme une affaire diamo do miltambita dono. Very important pour que family sort of at your back me alonko. They are always there for you. Another situation ka kola nyawanya. So the number one to my success is my family.
Yes.
At least the family is always there, backing and supporting in most of the things. So basically neo fananje, definitely I didn't marry for encourage that inila disability nya still have hope. So so wale ka push if you have the support then encourage you sort of kajako tomorrow I want to be something else. We also want to change narratives. Come in be muna jantandoro. Proga nyo hakilo blend. So there'll come a point ni made a system one in kono. Fefane hamo soto. Kayo ko nyan na tamila jinna. Purmol fefane ke modi pure doko soto. Ilafta ka doko soto, nye doko soto. You want to have a wife, your family bill. Then you're not like a successful, individual. So wala
Yeah, but niachi be fana modol bijeto sitar modol bijeto mele alonko lanjuro founti la ferem walsi keno moto muli alonko ye family la support soto no but still now ibuka school complete no still now ibukata no school but still family la support bijeto le ita fana sikeno model bela ila condition kono hanisa ye family la support so but still now imankarambo banno but wata kamunta ko ita fana hamole bela wala kenandi wo hammo nyin woni family support lata nyokan you also go ning atare ko hammo tete fana na skeno hani family be support kan nyaw nyanding you will not do it wo be sikeno le
no in all of them bige ita mari fana wakilile regardless of the situation or pale anyi banyawanya fefana yake modi fefana yake sabar lati fefaneke modi mi alon ko ba katala you know because you know the effort a family come and friends or may kata in vain you know
Exactly.
you know if I can for to a level like I go if I like for that level of should be an independent man you know most of the things me alon ko you know it's not like if I'm for second modi put all provide me for you know so we all work for the young up
yeah, but your advice would be parents or lalefanam pour que de unta ki karamunto because karambumu fenete mialanko is very important. Everybody to have basic education is very, very important, especially people with disability. Sai, if I'm gonna advise dila wo funding ke olfana la dinde un la melia lonko, ibita kan karambunto. Bari imalla fika sobe ya karauna, ida ibe tela condition olokono ba warante ibe, you know, lwen yurtol manketi, ibe muna advice dile tol fana la kaje ko you know ye encouragement also to kaje ko they can still make it up hani sa ida condition o be nyadile ida la njur tala ban warante buka jero leke bang you know be mon advice le dila o funding kewla mele alon ko be so kono student ol sifal
uncle mi alon ko akuma yada back you know near balo follow jibe there is nothing easy in life you know for when mi alon ko mo woni successful that you know you have a story to tell you know and then a story take all goals take all roads you know there must be some you know obstacles mi alon ko yo let
taki
back sometimes the camera no fan ko you know ko nyimbe be fail you know but at the end of the day ni akata back ni ataki you know for continue e kal no okay at the end of the tunnel there is light you know so from mo be akata ning adar tumala minna you know fe me manke you know
yeah network ko ban beta do ban
yeah ila family back kata kan kayo ko ite you have the best education if I like katale hamo so to put karam you know we all have something to do put be better each and every one of us or many of us are complaining about the situation but you know either karamla fanala or nin karam mankeno ya kata ni mechola fanala
ha funding kewle katoke yeta so kono comme ça ka même fo tan wala mo nyenti ko imari hanna tari la family be support kan drong ifana nyanta kala moltu me yalon ko ye fan support e bajala ko sama sinin isi lono e faye o mu fennete me yalon ka kumata bake thank you so much yes iko ebeti imu qualified teacher lati kodi
yeah mu qualified teacher
okay that's very good nyin qualified teaching kono ngamare ya fuela diamo kono ko itata college le you went to college Gambia College right
yes
okay that was which year
2016 to 2019
okay 2016 to 2019 okay that's very good mo jamala bija mo jamala ko ye londe iba fo kan is a intelligent guy is a good guy mo jamala commento dika you know but alkana boy alkana commento damman dia damman na de alim fanan commento dim fanan nako you know yeah okay so why do you want okay mune keta mune hamo dunte la kaje ko yes nte lafita kela teacherleti for motivo le bijeto mu ya lonka e inspire kaje ko I have to become a teacher to teach Gambian kids mune akenandi yo select for fende bijeto me motivate kaje ko nko hani de do ko siata le de karam siata bari lafta kela teacherleti so we want to know something about that why do you choose to become a teacher
yeah very important question yeah Jibe, you know from the start teaching was not something me alone ko after college you know near Jibe back I like you know to be on you know media and you know so I you know one empty back but then unfortunately sometimes when we jump program what nata lanjurtola fanado Jibe la do ko man siya you know there is no job enough job to ko jama molsa nyina keno so teaching was the only avenue ko at least to have you know some self reliance and some self you know independence So when I did the career opportunity now, then I also decided to grab it because ntanga mong intent prukake might be very difficult to have somebody to hire me because of more mindset
Perception.
so
Exactly.
perception of so if this one is the only available opportunity, yeah, and I can do my level best, yeah, so let me go ahead and do it whilst also not giving up on my dreams, but also you need a life to live, and you
Exactly.
want to live independently to a certain level, so what I think so yeah.
Okay, this is very important. Taylor college la time okay, because college mudulal temu yalon ka man easy. Instrumental dol bi jetol mo yalon kal ke use kal assist kende ke pour kaje ko ka karaw nyim fenkende bake. Siri ko dol remember no to moment na bita kan college kaje ko college kay nyin difficulty li nganyil soto kende kele ibaje la ko itambito difficulty na nyadi le wo kampo nyin to jeto college to jeto ibaje la ko sainte mele alon ko be la sus nyin kono wal fanal sitano college le bari isaje ko na broda do bi jento last time ngala kacha moyle college ay nyin kole ko dol soto jeto le son tol fanal se mun keno pour kaje kon si wo kole ko dol si tambino wala. What can you remember some of those difficult moments for you when you were going to Gambia College?
Yeah, Koleakol, I think Koleakol is school Karo Bell, from from the primary to upper. In fact, go big official. At least Aldama Lakataraje, but ni tara mainstream schools. Koleakol be start world. Koleakol be BJ. There is no difference from the neighbor school and neighbor college or even to the university. My major problem is to have notes.
Okay.
Getting notes, it's a big issue. Persons with visual impairment, like disability, like Panajibe. Pruka notes also ako koleal back. You have only one or two options. One of them is presi moya karang ikasavenim brain, which is very, very difficult.
Difficult, yeah.
Yeah, because to have pruka mosin, mimbo time also pre be a copy. Killing know what it is. So that will one problem that, or maybe if you are lucky to get technology understand the money, maybe a laptop or so, and you are able, the lecturer is able to provide a soft copy for you, then maybe ofananga fisia, but then no wonder it's a problem. Exams is always a problem in all levels, whether school or Gambia College. Ofana is the same thing. Getting the exam questionnaires in Braille, what possible, in many instances, So, and then also in Braille, you must have somebody to transcribe it. So in other schools, maybe senior school or junior school, but then if you're in Gambia College or in our days now, I think they are lucky. At least that part is a little bit easy for them now. But before, sometimes they can suffer, so example sitle what Maxwell bukaje, because Maxwell are not transcribed,
Okay. Sai itela mira loto because itambita kuonyon kunale ya kole akuja maleji jeto. Ita mira ko mulle sikeno way forward kaje ko itambita wo difficulty bella jeto. Either government Minister of Education, Higher Education si improvement o ke wo side nyilla ibajala ko melia lonko ibe tela samato nyin kono wal fanal sikeno multimedia lonko at least ita tambita kole akol mella jeto wal kana do kole akol kono. What will be your recommendations mel sikeno would like?
Yeah, the recommendation I think is very simple, and it's not only to the Minister of Higher Education, it's to both the Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education. Education. Persons with disability, we only need the required resources. If I have notes in Braille, if I have notes in Braille, there is a center you can go there, in Braille. You read. Because more Estonia, it in class. You have to go, if I say so, if I study. You know, so I didn't book a study node because I have no notes book a study, or I only rely on recording. So a recording is for a class, for example, in Gambia College. In nowadays is 2 hours. Now I heard it's 3 hours. So suppose you are to record a 3 hours audio, lectures. That would take you a whole lot of time. But if the materials are there available, it is accessible. Then that is fine. Secondly, all in the technology janjandi. We are in an era of technology. How to braille by use there are latest brailles mialonko say use electronic brailles. Mialonko ni pareda etebela from model ya transfer to the yaka flash drive kono. Print out. Yellow phone print out, yellow answers will print out. So by the transcription of nakala and all the manjar wala kotek. But in as much as wala mankeno, there will still be a problem. Wala the nakanyam buakeno sometimes model bije ekajoko nyil buka trailer. But then there is always a lot of challenges because me done studies I not also the compute knowledge. Regardless of how intelligent you are. You must have something to back yourself up. So all together becomes very, very difficult. But if accessible materials are there for all persons with disabilities, mobile after independence law. But so saying example, exam wala, you're more than that exam question already. And then amare fansul walu ni jaka ko example question on Yimbari only once. Once that one is difficult.
It's difficult
because sometimes you must go over and go over put a question on understand. So in order to have a better answer, put a answer no correctly. So but me other elaborate question.
You guys you are facing the greatest challenges in schools ning atata wokusi for the exam learning kukoton la, right?
Yes, of course. Yes.
Okay, I think government fanang kata ministry la dulalto taring inyanta ka woku nyim fanantale ka jibero ka kola hanna tar fanan ko be central lelo la dulalto taring central melialon ko purposely IT li kake multimulialon ko inyabu keje comme ça ya fo la diamoto ebe school to time men kola ku jamal lesota jeto surtout Gambia college to time men ning atata ila note wala exam wala mu fennete me alon ka kola ata bakere so ba jala ko ning government center sol soto maybe across country kan ka wo facility si falta ke kijeto ba jala ko atol fanal alsitano jeto alsi brill use no jeto latest technology computer le mulialonko brill whatsoever alsi be use no. I think this is very important mulialonko. It will go a long way kamol fanal mako mulialonko albenyin sifa kono. This is important. Yeah, it's important. Okay, so iko school bari ibe teaching na bari ko teaching yin amanke ila intensonoti non prukake saying do you regret kaje ko mu teacher les sila do you regret of it?
No.
No.
Sometimes maybe come on job so sometimes when the going gets tough this one is not really for me, there should be something better. Not this one. So, but generally, it depends. Like, sometimes you have a lot of support. You have good colleagues. They are supporting you. So sometimes you don't feel it that bad. But then if you find yourself in an environment, no, sometimes
you feel like going.
In my case, very rarely sometimes, but still, few occasions on milk and this is not still a job for me.
But I hope thinking about that. I hope you are not also thinking about back way.
No way. That's not an option for me.
I need
Like,
don't hide. No, no.
no.
Kana auto mabode. Kana auto mabode. Wala ke
Like
ngeji
really.
ninka. Wala ke nani
Like
ngeji ninka ngo class ko do do.
no
Then
no bro dole ka fanya ngata ngaba boy no turn down that no.
okay.
Konin tuba
Okay.
wala kulumba lo da way nyum kulumba mi kana jande.
Don't hide yourself, please. Don't hide yourself. No, 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 no. Okay, okay. Sai school to jeto class all kono jeto, ngalo neko, you do have a lot of support from your colleagues, fellow teachers. So not at a student on last side la nyadile. Wope woko be nyadile because ngalo ne fanan teaching fanan is not something me along ko a easy tabake because student no doli jeto kung si jas keno ifong biragan school to time kung jatale. So so student on la ko be nyadile. There is collaboration mo ya long ko yes student olu they feel ko yeah mbe karankan ne kende ke wo be nyadile je.
Yeah, for all greatest all of them challenge bafanante
Yeah, I know.
classroom management sometimes okay could be a collata they have no problem they cooperate but then it have more be nyama there are some people
Obviously.
extremely to handle
Kung jata.
their case
I know, I
so
know,
in such situations sometimes money back at
I know.
because they always take advantage of that disability aspect
Yeah.
of you so sometimes I think that is
Akakal.
one of the main issues
Challenges.
challenges as a person with visual impairment teaching boring the sometimes or
Ning atata student on la side la, right?
yeah
Okay.
control some of them
Yeah, but I think it's very important since as a ken of an banko can teach a jamale bijeto milia lonko, ibetala condition on yin kono, menke da visual impaired person ti, mo jamale bijeto milia lonko teacher lemo. So muna bekele fana na advice oti wo karola kaje ko teacher students relationship is very very important. Kaje ko karan kendo si soto no karampunto nyameng. Ne relationship o nyamam bete abake because you may have very cocky students muli alon ko they will not listen. Ebe mun advice le dila student on la kaje ko ila dalilo kata school to karawna mo. So important abake nin teacher le collaboration o etari damon tema kaje ko teacher me alon ka belorin student ol nyato ame kong ando ate konna fanan because halaftela samalla but dindi ya kama fanan student ol isi kodol ke perhaps kunjala mani dindi ya kama. So what will be your advice kaje ko nyin teacher students relationship could be cordial ila behavioral nyul.
Yeah, sometimes it's very easy, sometimes it is difficult.
Yeah.
Depending on how you comport or handle yourself. Okay, so sometimes some of them maybe need yamute, it can understand,
Yeah.
it can marry faham back and then they try their best kajoko, it button, but then so another more fun be along ko eke button handle nyala be fed yamu you
Yeah.
keep on talking more fun along ko
It's important.
that is important. Kajoko, you are here for a purpose. And that purpose idante o miyanko disability la mundi or any other person you can also do more than those people you can do the same so kadiamu long ito ni tol tema and then fana ya comme ya muta nyama jama bije ke fana muta wala nyama
Exactly.
ni na de kan nin sonera e fana jama katar sonera bul ba fana ni ko la de fana bulu jama fana bije e retaliate la so the money wala karo bela fo tija sol yake the money student wal fana ya lon ko min ka lo nyaato another just porque makoy ka fendi la mi lon ko eta malon another ma dila abe na fara sama another ma dila purite wolong abe kolyala wala ta ken wala fan at all so yeah so vice versa long
Okay. Badi uno kanal kontontron kabona Global Rainbow TV Italy banko kan. Binin na broda la bijanto menkita boyti me ya lonko atemu teacher leti Gambia banko kan. Bara mole temu ya lonko abukeje. So na National Youth Engagement bole ke kanjanto kamol nati na different people niye kacha janto. Kela du ko finti de bantoto aning ka advice ol di mol fadalla. Membe dending bankola nyato tala aning na bakwe fanana. Yes, bari ngeng kale nkoy ko tichin nying yamere man regret bang ye kunji jawolal do mandende ko yamere fanam buka bakwe. Have you ever think of throwing away the chalk to go to the riverside to take the boat to Spain or Italy?
No, like first, like
Tonya for drunk.
no, that's my honest truth. I nga hame kana Europe lede, but back way the Tonya dame. No.
But funding ko backway is the solution. Why do you not advocating for that?
Okay. Anyway, I'm not really denying that maybe it might be the solution, but if the proper mechanisms are put in place, like for example, some of them you can boat filming. According to what I normally hear from people, I'm not sure or both FIFA and said don't know, and you still think is the solution. It's just like it's just like you are doing a trial and error. It can work, it may not work. Or the likelihood of it not working is very high. And the likelihood of it not working is high also. So but then
but back way fanang, I falendri jamala ke banko fanang kande. Despite the fact yes, but muna kenandi you don't want to go. Tell us the reality. Why you don't want to go? You never advocate to go back way. Why?
No, like some me I didn't die. This is like
yes. Muna dalilo because lafto dalilo dolonale.
Come on, like sometimes when you hear some of the stories, miltata, you want to narrate, or it can be only accident on sort of come both need symptom or civil. Those ones are scary, and sometimes like Johnny explain, those are things me and uncle. I'm like, no, for me, uncle. I don't think that was the brand.
But malon faya lonko hani dunda tubabu du kono janto mo jama babi janto be batari mbake la doli bijeto ke la silo le kan doli bijeto ke la pon le ko to tubabu du kono janto misalo kamma ni temmari mutijalati yeccoko bula jeto e kallitul kodo soto ke la wululal nafai be fan fanan nafala ina tanyim baku waita alman tangala neman na futa fanan ni torobe family kan ni futa da fanan sanji jama yeta reception center to sutu gambela asylum o sign ka kaito soda kolata bake le because EU ya Gambia categorized le as a safe country so maril katal kampo to le 6 years 7 years 3 years janibe kaitol nyul sotola doli bijeto aka telephone yeter la pon kono yetela gara solto yeter la rendulalto so yamera wo mari what a regret la bang kaje ko ngamen bula jeto wala fam fisata dina be condition o men kono janto wo story nyel vum fenete me alonko at least yamera wol fanal manke fente me alonko ke discourage bang
like sometimes don't come model time ndaflo but why watata why nothing minanyanda ko bla kata
okay
because of maybe either wala situation or amari la level of nyam sometimes akola bage priya comprehend ko aje ko woldole ila woldoltara harama ga chokola fanade dammo don't at least they are living in a quite at least
good
better
life.
situation but then yet ekata of course maybe ni come kan situation mi fota ni fota ni real situation ni isa regret no because what do you think wala bije asking ni na de total la je and wala na major problem with more perception of the searing jang and mol fana dol fana bije they cannot a perception of me fana yita ni mola it's all okay here despite the problems me alonko wala we kirinje so let me know si va tata it's a problem but sometimes fana yalo comme you katara job ñin na le you think ko comme mo fa number job la I don't know. Puru kaja ko maybe atidano. But sometimes it can be anjam fanang. You know, abuka ke fendi miyanon ko I say that someone I say that satisfy it from personally, you know, I take that man someone and yet again you have a family miyanon ko to live on miyanon ko either you have a wife or you have a parent or you have your siblings miyanon ko in the call take care yajan. So the
Yeah.
fan be come all of an call some ko yeah,
But
it still can be rough, but then with little bit of trying, Alan. As a work no, despite the Kobe situation in Catalan,
okay. But five tero dol sotole mulia lonko itol fanale nyim bakwe muta dunta. Ye tero dol sotole, right?
Personally, anyway, not colleagues or don't be your classmates, yes.
Mele along koy tata nyin duma silola.
Yes.
Bari wal dunta nyin silola hani sa ite fana mang encourage me no soto hani sa kata. No.
More high than your tele.
Okay. Say, but you think yes, funding kyo me along yes. Abe Gambia Banko kaman nyin duma silo muta kata tubabu ya miracle yes asa make no Gambia Banko kan hanna manta tubabu do bakwela.
Yeah. Anyway, sometimes like a difficult one, but yeah, it's still possible.
Yeah.
It's still
Okay.
possible. It is difficult, but still possible.
It's possible. Okay.
Yeah.
Bari janto men important janto wala mu nyente ko ngamen advocate wala mu saya nyin jio kono.
Yeah.
Because hada mande una niyo fana kumayata bake wala le.
Back at home, back.
Puru ya fembula so kono iba do binde kan imano soto no o mu fenete me alonka important surtout ni weather condition o amam bete ya ka jiyo nyinta risk ta bakele nak. Yeah. So
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So I be mon advice le di la funding kewla as an advice kaje ko duma silo mfenete me alonka kolata bakele comme ça kaje nyamen ka muy nyamen ni watin kono no mo jamale fata jiyo kono recently fana report dol fana finta kaje ko December 5th fana kulung fana ko mo jamale tuto kulung kono me alonka siata bake abala fa warta bake bare alman alay ne manen kafar keye mune be kelela advice oti broda solia funding kewol mela lon ko be sirin so kono kaje ko yes back way nga tamo tarlenta stop nola barin sing hakilol final tu mbe mufla wati jumale ani mbe bulala mum fenle kono because sometimes weather condition o ka grawle imari dum weather condition o kono drong yakulung ta drong aita ke fenko ni weather condition o mambeda nabe betering they are quite different. So what will be your advice to funding kewol muli alonko ebela mero ke kan?
Yeah, very good. Muna advice to Jawla Nindeko. You come here for Yaman, Silolo Mialonko, it is very, very difficult. Nyajibe. But then, it's always good that to sought advice, to seek for advice. Akada nyawonya molbijel Mialonko wala tata itanyana. So at least wale experience origin. And then for a more fun and bijel Mialonko, at least they give timely updates as to situation of Benjamin. I think one cooler Mialonko akumada ba come ya Benjamin. Mol bijel Mialonko ika bala level on you for. I don't like kanata. Silo buying Benjamin about ruffling. But unfortunately, some are still not heeding to that advice. And it is very, 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 very important.
Yeah.
Because
Before Marietta.
Yeah. In the situation on you because Nico the sea is rough. The likelihood of you going there and yet massive boss or gina higher than pre-kana. Even though some will come and tell you ala like a call but yeah, ala but then you have to protect yourself first. And
I think to inform yourself is very, very important.
Exactly.
Is very, very important because moduli bijeto well they don't care kaje ko kodola mba sotola mbatu nganyiliki woto akuma tabakel fonden kewle fan inform before be kulun nyil tala ka weather condition o jibe be tili jol leke la weather be nyaadi la nyimo fenate me alon ka important because be benna janto wala mo nyinti ko
ani mo jalla because like
yeah
you can do new kulun new kono man ali you 200 of you people nyori
yeah
kulun nyalon ko even 100 people atano la atofo atano correctly
anyanta 100 letter misalo kama 250 kijeto wo there is high chance ko problem o be keno silo kan
hata babe betiyar na fumunto but there is high chance ko kuno aga problem
sikeno yeah okay that's very good that's very good
I don't know on kulun nyan ko nyanda ko
consider yeah that's very good nyimbe momente wala ngunyenti ko kanyo hakilo bulande drong membe dending bayring manden kolko kulumbula la bebe ngani yakilin be mu banku din leti kanyo sensitized drong kanyo kachande drong kaje ko saya be serim bakela nyin jiyo kono andung hani korda kilin kono mo fatuta jeto amanke ko wala korda le fota banko be le fota because o mari abe kala menti sama sidin mo ma wolong wala kana nyin kacha kumayata bake pour ka nyoso hakilo la ka kacha drong pour kaje ko ntolle tamu nyoti ko le ato ban sono ato ban telle tamu nyoti ntolle nyanta nyo guide la ntelle nyanta kala moto mu yalon ko nyanta advice hol dila nyola wala kana ngayim programme ota nga kere nga londi pour ka mol natina different places pour ni yakacha ning boyle bi janto men kana na episode 60 nabe wakachale ke kan janto bakwe kole anen kodol bi jota temmenke ala life kono bi so be wakachale la je next week fana be modo fana natlale memba ni membe kacha sot la janto boy is very very important bari hani sinde ko hani bakwe abera korda bunda lightitade
no maybe the hataram bitarade abakala ni marine ship balle sipol mi alon ko yalon
warama bal
they are up to standard
bari
ni adam tade ba
bari ni tata wo fanan na woto fanan tata bakwe la ko
okay wala fanan safety fanan bake na brother ni na sister jama bije kadani ndam no fanan
nyin kulunde wala yeah yeah that's very good yeah okay guys butun wo ngal tentu ngal jay momondi yalon ko yella time o bula pour kane la moy nyang programme la janto bal tentu lambal jay la bake so boy nin tata bakwe nyin na kola mol buka benno kankilin to jeto bari nsinna opinionol di drong anen kanna advice ol di advice o men dia mo fennede mi yalon ko a important bake pour mol si informed decision o ta jannibe kulunyin tala is very very important bari tala miralo to miralo lomde mol si mune keno warante government si munkul le keno ka funding kyol fanalta ke motivate because nindo be nyim programme wala ngafa en kay ko back we be nyamen bi hanna tar government nie job opportunity le create asikeno wata mol balla manta so itala miralo to ila mirale ndewunyin to ita mera ko hani sign is a collective responsibility nsi mune keno pour ka nyim back we ta ka talaro kala ndimo nga talaro kala don ndimo saya nyine be talala so what do you think mune sikeno banko kam pour kaje ko talaro sikeno nyin back we ko nyenna government la site la bang ntol found individual la site la
yeah mimbi je wala yinde ko it's a comme ya collective responsibility no yeah to yalo job opportunity bedatale but then ntanga mera mumuna main problem nyata na fondinke jama kata we have issue of wage nyata joro la fanana
wages okay
ndaka job sol kafule fine but wages fana nyanta jibe kulale because if I'm having a job and then the damun problem what on the level of dependency sometimes akatina aka model drive le kajo ko e be job mun ke kan woman ke job tumi an ko sa bondi no kan but then if the wages are better there are regulations to at least control market prices not to control to a certain degree but then let there be rules let there be regulations the markets are regulated. I think this is the major problem is because of wage long and the market prices because because of every day or every 2 days iba jalo ko this particular item or this particular product ya
akasi
da kafule
yeah bari
so ada
hekatu
abuka ada ka to kafurin
hekatu do wandi mela kuma kuntude bari ya mera fanan ko ne wages nyim fanan yibe yes asikeno man siya bake fanan bari ya mera dependency fanan tijeto me alon kaka society nyim fanan batandi bake because maybe ning atare ko nte damman na mam futu folong maybe nka kodo me alon ko e kanjwala asikeno kodo sikeno fente me alon on sa manage no different from me alon ko broda sol bembulo ko tol bembulo kono jeto mbela kuwol be fanan kela
yes
what dependency fanan aketa fente me alon ko ay mojama fanan lezindi le banko kan because dita tubabu du kono hani ni mo bota bakilin fakilin ne kanyo sokodo la man fair kate lanyo ya man fair kata domoro
yeah
kenyo ya amu fennete me alon ka man
yeah
fair everybody is struggling for themselves which is quite different from Gambia
yeah
me alon ko dependency sata
yeah
jeto e kamo kilinjele mo tambe dendala so atatitala wo mol nyul fanal titala so wo fana mo factor do lete mo alon ko at least hanna tare wages la fata fana wo be mol affect la hani saim fo ko nyaadi le woto
I agree. I agree. But then come here for yaro ni wages ni muna jang anin job soto yaro at least maybe dol bije akare ha job be jurumarin ne wal tatal dol bije wal I don't know maybe naturally for wal hamo fadal do hani wal tara to abdu fanan fa wal
yeah
do ko kala je maybe wala hani do ko fanan ata sembote warno dol
yeah ngama network call mo ale nga fenke do made maybe nga 2 minutes di wo call an sina close and sim
TikTok.
select
Speech off.
okay
yeah hello come on
yes in kebole yeah
yeah sorry mole I'm calling
yeah I know
so yajan ni opportunity nata ni job opportunity ba siare askano maybe dol bije wala dependency ratio ni se talano but comme ya fanya model bije nak definitely wala family dol bije aba kole ala baga pro wala dependency pour ka tano nyato
yeah
hada lo beto abdule life will still be difficult because of the number of people mi anko yanda ilafta ko la fi
exactly
te dol bije hata job opportunity fana bije jang model fana bi wala faka selective le
yeah
pour ka joko ila faka job fifa munke
job
and I think
make
also the family also are playing a greater part pour ka more forced to go through this back way I don't
backward okay
know model back to abu oko kodo minke ita bi jang they are expecting you for if an nyanda ko like or ni ikoma some of them are either backbiting you or like a kumol for mami alko ita fan kumo nyinga futema so pour ka makato bay fanang kadol fanang force
motivate
no
them
so I think motivate la pour kata so I think it's on both sides family nyanda ka the needs all a limit len ni mo do ko la jang iba call domoni na but then every day is the same new story every day new problem with your these little wages now me the problem of force laga because there be kajalo ita ko do ko so yenda ka kule ke mi alon ko kubala keno te ela ko do mo si
yeah
you
that's
know
true Oto,
so one issue already
yeah
so
that's very important
both the society and the government your role so do jele pour ka akoning fanan fenke alen fa
uh,
yaron mu dina ko ma comme dependency ni
yeah
ni fo ning ko mi opportunity soro pour ye job ni sora ida maso yara o carpentry or any other job if I okay at least ni fana nada ni yela 400 soro hada ma di mo ba ida simon sa
yeah
imam modo batani simon on that day particular day yo da handi simon la ita karola or any
exactly
other
yeah
teachers so
it's important it's
yeah
important yeah
self-independence is always good so yeah mo funding kel jama bi nyanda ko atara mo soto
most of the yeah
at
that's
least
very good
hata mo model mako imam mo kadam mako but
yeah
then
from
yeah
Marco
ni be fam mako that is on kulimi ko kumata je bakane
that's very good. Yeah, that's very, very good. Womu fennete me alonko is very, very good. And I hope kuma kaun mel foto janto advice ol mel dita janto pour kaje ko nto lam kilinti ba kuela kuola nga hakilo tujeto. Because ni wata drong na funding ke lebe continue la drong pour ka faji kono. I think nyel basic no solution on tile pour ka government ye fendol create mole ye migration policy create member kenande la ko European Banco do le bijeto is job opportunity create no funding kewle pour kana santo bajela ko duma silo nyen sitala no nyame because the more duma silo katala rek dia kuya we must expect dead fonsi saya nye expect yo nyen kan the more ka kere dia kuya la mu obe kelale woto nyantaka mbele mo government, not only government can do it, mbele collective responsibility la pour kaje ko diamo buka korikula sensitization buka korikula comme ça bi be menke kanjanto nyimu sensitization to muya lonko definitely it will go a long way ka mo koton take hakilo yirwandi mela lonko be tubabu du kono mela lonko ibe te fauna level on yinto pour kaje ko yes nyen felenti qualified teacher la mabe teaching lala nte fanan ba katalale fanan mbatata bari nyim batata la felenti biya keda qualified teacher te so wala kenan kacha kuma ta bake aka mo jamal ta ka makoro ka motivation di mo jamal la woto be men kala dron batunga line open nga model bulaye selena because mo jamala be duma milalanko perhaps they wanted to contribute to the program for be content role dile la bang fodung ibe contribution ole kala program o nyin kama definitely content tabake pour que soto ando ye encouragement o menta fanan bring ikata GOVI to kata senior school for Gambia college definitely omu encouragement balete omu hamoleti ni ma soto rek ite fudano la nyin level to fobi e belorin class o kodo ibe dinde on karandi kan o mo fennete mi alon ka kumata bake kontanta wala mbatu ngamol sele dina pour se contribute programme auto mais même fala dron momo di alon ka seltanam programme auto dron please lafta nga 2 minutes di la dron be kacha kan subject o menna please di amo subject o nyinna nkana di amo ko do la kaje kon nakayto le fenke data bim man tar ko kacha kan be men kacha kan bi wala mo national youth engagement on irregular migration mele alon ko be la moro kekan yes mbatu ngamol sele di yamo
all right
yeah assalamu alaikum
Waalaikum salam. Ko wale mo be nyaade.
mbijan dron
Korta andal be.
alhamdulillah
Barin ke wobe kayra.
kayra doro
Korta ande su konon ko.
jeewi jam
Korta ande.
tanante
E koy mu teacher so ete ka teaching ke nyaade.
kati chinkanya ko mo we ka kenya mando nina not so long so because most of the students need a textbook all long so textbook will be student will be able so it's just a matter of kataka explain here ning surata work deal la na colleague do katara jele is always there ning surata ka work deal then nga question on ida nga sa nga diala o nga read sa blackboard or works ning na pareda ni pareda at the same mark nga fa lafra kanya ay mark on
Okay, betata bakel. Alla
yeah
program ko mata bakel o. Pour katel mo si fal fanan soto kana kal interview a betata banko kan. Global
yeah
rembo be do ku kendol. So mbe ni mbara lawla. So bar bagwe ngamo ko kulundo la kanala so mbar ngajo yena wala ko di.
no akoro di nananja ay akoro di
No bro
nananja
ma ngaji bagwe la.
akoro di yaki nyanan dro o fanya
awa ala
No na
ko
bagwe la janne be gambe nyaado de.
no
kodo
ndemo
ke
sonda wala ne ndemo
Ja
sonda
hani
wala
na
bar
lebe kam
bago
fo kono e kam mindi la o siata gambe la tara rejide.
bar bago esiro wonde akoro di nanan dro
awa kodo ke ay wefla kodo jin ke ay wefla yeah
Okay, baraka bako.
yeah
Program interesting da baka
yeah
na konto.
yeah abaraka bake
baraka
mo jamala bijeto
Okay.
jaje nganyim programme wonati baje lako afana na story sike moto mi alon ka si dindi jama inspire so kono asike moto mo alon ko melbate la sus nyinto bari jamala bijeto mi alon ko nyabu ka jero ke be teaching la Gambia banko kan we know them but
Yeah.
ngate fanan choose la nganati nan janto pour ala story nyi anin ku ko tawni mol si karang ala kola so nyimu fenete mi alon ko is very very important comme ça nga fale nyamen dron nimmem bijanto wala mo national youth engagement on irregular migration bole ke kan janto ka Gambia funding ke ulta ke natinam platform moto ni yakacha bakwela ni tolfanal be kata ko men ke kan jeto kala ya moyle atabuke je bare ako ay primary school kala junior school ka senior school ka tata fo Gambia college sai hise qualified teacher melalan ko be life ni lamoy kan benga amoyla ay kuma kan mel fo jeto bare ako bakwe ka malla fo la rek ay olo fo nak ya so matonga modo fananta ay contribute program o nyento yes
Assalamu alaikum.
wa alaikum salam
Yes, bro. Amen.
enen bara
Kotan.
alhamdulillah lun taw be konton
Nimbara da amen.
Ya ini barang bijam.
Kotan.
Ranton.
Abarga. Yo, albaka.
Ada bakang.
Wow. Itu nya. Ini bindo Gambia.
Ya bagam ya.
Okay.
ya so ye programme o nyaadi le
Bera da bakela. Ngon dan da bakela wallahi. Ye ben kete na bera da. Pro Gambiano be abele nyanda bola so ni sifa keda mol be nyanda ko fengela pour ngadi amu so nganyo de ma ofana beda dala ma fam
yeah
de kondanda bakela bilahi
thank you content bake yeah abaraka bake
okay nko lafte nyini kala fendo fana na
Okay.
Bi be kacha men na janto be irregular migration le kacha ka national youth engagement bi mo kacha leti comme ça nga fo nyamen nin seltana don si diamo subject o nyinna na kayto na do kolu bi mantaro kayto mba mantaro diam kan bi be men diam kan ton yeah wala mo na brodati na telebe kacha kan janto bi ni me lafta ka contribute wo programme o nyinto don isi request o kinan ka contribute bari ngala kumol moy labe kumol mel be fo kan national youth engagement on regular migration is a contribution all keno. Yes, assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
Waalaikum salam.
Boy Jawla.
Naam.
Ewe nyaadi.
Bijam.
Yana jomala kadia.
Alhamdulillah I consider but man sure so man guess what mbo
Yes, bismillah.
Ifama manyo wala kadiam.
Hey, like seriously?
If I'm a sweetheart.
Okay.
Yeah, ala network wala tata rek, Yes, na brother, bismillah, assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam, Global Rainbow.
Yes, na brother, inem bara.
Ami nyari.
Bejandron, na luntam baye kontong.
Ikoto malom bala eskamara.
Yeah, bala bismillah na brother.
Okay, program nyimba follow kane. Ya, kumayata bake. Ya, mbesi mankane no but bring a program when fenke rek ngana simo stop le follow, nga follow.
Okay.
Because ngajeko is very interesting. Ninkay mbemul be advice la. Na yinje nyameng though he is a visual impaired person, but for marking the for relaxed. Yes, so the advice of the mol bella momo ya sifa sort of please amare ya try. Aya kata. Because there is a proverb that said disability doesn't mean inability. Yeah, disability, it doesn't mean inability.
Yeah.
So my fellow teacher, because I'm teacher led.
Okay.
So I'm very happy to see my colleagues, who is in this situation, but still now he struggled from primary school to Gambia College. So we're in contact back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Andung atamita kole aku jamala bari wo ma relaxindi wala kenande I feel ko be situation o men kono I struggle fobia futota janto natabo situation sifa kono maybe ala kodol manketa bar modo bijeto me alongo fen fedde mantarola, and that individual also have family support. Nate aka futa da nyin blato o mari tuta muneto me alonko akeje aka everything beke no bari atabu keje, and he also need people support.
Yeah, because what I can think because the time at Gambia college la so the na female baby team marine, but I know the struggle.
Yeah.
And then
Mm-hmm.
yeah, another level lastly from after discourage la puro ngamuru back home na college mm but I just try three years only nga struggle for at least nga complete.
Yeah, complete. Yeah. Boy, kweka great job let teach. Someone is asking. Yeah.
7.
Grade 7. Okay. Akaka grade 7 let teach. Yes. But I think it's very important kaje ko nyimosi fali hanatol found teacherly kal sort of pruka kacha ko dola is very important. Me alonka se motivation o di modola banko nyen kan sutu student only.
Yeah, kumata because I can remember after school dodo sister ndin tarta jele me yalonko ate comme anyani nata problem of soto during our school time.
Okay.
Yeah, but after with all that, our parents all man discourage. Yeah, some treatment la jama la bari ma control no. But with all that, sister ni nata still another continue school on.
That's very good.
So lastly, Brilla le nata this Brilla machine.
Yeah, Brill. Yeah, I call it use.
Yes, Brilla. Yes, I've always used cam.
That's good. Yeah. Okay.
But class kono ngaje ko more be class kono when you are teaching in the class. Near question of race, Melialon ko la fenol bebe timmari, normally a telefolo ka abulo race santo pour ka question on jabi.
Okay.
Yes, so ngaje ko comme na ñin teacher ya try ñame mbe o fanan like nala mol be ñin programme o jube kan be fanan encourage la pour your sister ñi encourage for afanan si fota ñi level lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's very good. Yeah, that's very good.
Yeah.
Badi unumbe program mo men na janto nka fole ko National Youth Engagement on Irregular Migration pour na funding ke musol ning ke melbe so kono ke nate platform auto pour ka kacha ibaje la ko si motivate no ibe cool melke kan ima secondly fanan sila ke cool si fintinde banto to mo jama bije to sije atem mo lete mu yalon kan ngamen soto bi abuke je bari struggle bale ke janna ke teachati. So ka motivation o diala anim fanan ka advice o di student do la sutu mele alon ko bukeje ay kacha men ki jamu fenete me alon ka kumata bake ay advice o di parents o la anin student o la anin back we fanan adiamu taw fanan nal. Yes, bala wata baraka bake. Thank you so much. Baraka bake bala.
Yeah, welcome.
Yes. Yes. Na brother bismillah ben bijeto buba.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
Global Rambonge Kontong Yela host Kontong Minkela Jawlati.
Yeah, Joe back here.
Jawla Yela interview Lama. I think it's one of the best interview Gamil Lama.
Thank
Because
you.
global most of the time interview Dolby and Kodojila Miko Lama, but B is one of the best. In a sense that they bring somebody me and is disabled, but a concept coming they are able.
Yeah.
And I think that is the best thing because Jawla GB he have many more jama biga min cannot work The time is difficult putting kakeno. Jawla been day school days he struggled to come up to grade 7, grade 8, grade 9. Gambia College. I'm get easy taxi. How many weeks, how many months you struggle? Okay, Jawla one thing how do you manage at a grade 9, grade, especially last year in Gambia College? Another classmate or Kenya did
Okay.
In terms of
maybe academic activities.
Well, I participate. I can participate come any of them. you know, because you can make sure the class will book and them back, you know. So most of the classes in K witness, so you know, you know, yeah, can participate. It's normal, you know, because nintara nig galka, you know, relationship build to a certain extent. So kadali nyo back, you know. So if there is any work, you know, we contribute. So you know, okay, issue bad, you know.
Oh, but I don't cook and like Yaron. I know still now you are in this teaching field. Yaron, I wish you all the best. Yaron, I know who much is given, much is expected. And I love one thing about you. You always smile. You know, you always smile. I think maybe that student from Bola like Yaron.
Yeah.
And maybe back way for Yaron. Maybe if you can talk about it, like can discourage for is very good. That Yaron.
Yeah, back way ka malafola na he doesn't want back way. Yeah.
Anyway,
Okay.
thank you so much, Yama Global.
Abaraka
pleasure.
bake.
And Jawla, thank you so much. Keep it
Yeah.
up, okay?
Buba akumata le bake puru nyemo
It's
sifar
a
fana puru.
menti, yeah. For more
Yeah.
sibala, let them give them hope, Aaron.
Yeah, puru ka nate platform also ke ka expose o dila ke la kuma kanu moi. Asitol fana motivate nole asimo jamal fana ta nole I motivation o dila. Kaja ko yes, we can still push it up, you know. Yeah.
Ebajo ko Jawla si vaja ma sirin silokan. Maybe they don't have the correct kana moto.
Yeah.
Ila family dombo ye ko ngandange ki kodi nyini round. But Jawla kere is one of the top guy. Me alone fin another kind of moto for BR degree soto. It's one of the best thing. Thank you so much, Global.
Thank you
All
so
the
much,
best,
bro.
man.
Thank you, yes. Na brother bismillah, nenga mo killing fulata dro ko la ngana close. Iwaja ko mol sirila. Yes, na brother bismillah men bijeto.
Assalamu alaikum alkondo.
Wa alaikum salam.
Ayo kaira to.
Alhamdulillah.
Malam ya yebe bendi ne. Malam fo yen sude la, kay malam fo yen kan sude la.
No, me kan sude.
Atoni os.
Jubale.
Os ila bo mu ke kanangol design de.
Yes. Contribute program auto malo jubale mo.
Kay ke kanangol design well intema active bagi atondi social media do nyade.
Okay.
Bari bring in boy la fen ko nyinje atondi interview nyinje.
Okay.
Wallahi en content tabake la man, content tabake la man.
Yeah, that's true.
Wallahi
Yeah.
wallahi. Boy la joni nga domanding kala muta jene ite also be credit dile telephone la follow
no don't worry
honestly ngalon os maybe iman sude famola ke bari nga kala muta baake
no don't worry contribute program auto to nga fenke
wallahi be credit dile tele follow then to the family ani mobe fema contribute je bari be credit dile la je back because nga kala muta nga ko kala muta jene boy la condition be nyamin well more bele impressive ta ko nak definitely biringa boy je abe siri la platform odo yo anata ke defangoti nabe den platform minna wallahi ko dano mi soto ala dam mala be londa
ya bonya ale
wallahi
même bi
fana kanyi ngani yo soto ka fenan platform o nyinto tendi ay kontaan bak
bonya ale même bi jeto drong comme ça Global Rainbow TV nyantole ke la drong ka molta ke exposo dila bare programme le mo wala mo nyenti ko kanyo motivate drum banko kan na mo jamale nati janto ni interview soto dole bi jeto wol mo fils vendo leti dole bi jeto wol ka do ko ke marasel leto dole bi jeto wol ka maso yal leke dole bi jeto ka theater leke just pour ka motivation o di tol fanal lakela kuma kawn moy ka mo ko tawn fanal ta ka motivation o di la so that's the only thing membi jeto so mbemo kilinet and this is what we should do for one another. Yeah.
Wallahi, definitely.
Yeah.
I am content back. I
know.
Yo,
it's a pleasure.
Mol nyandale family lombang wala tondi kafunyol lembang be ya kata nyi sifal be daming ke mari wol encourage anin ke support.
Yeah.
Ninge encourage nge support. Wallahi, they have a part to play. They have a role to play in the society. Come boy be
exactly.
So support ni family mol nga kata anyhow nga support dila abela letel taka na bare mol nga kata nga support dila so ni support dila wallahi ifanal bela siakela ando ila apartment dila e nyanta contribute la mina society do bakela so imaja te fana bo contribution no nyine ke kan society kon
Yeah, it's so.
Aku nyen kontane ba ka en kontane ba ka en kontanta ba. So
It's a
mbafala ko
pleasure.
I mean thumbs up to you, you know.
Baraka
Keep on
back,
trying.
brother.
Keep on trying. Nation building no. So if ana bela contribution ola ke kan akumata ba. Ka
Thank you
akumata
so
ba.
much.
Yeah, Allah baraka ba ma.
Okay, thank you. Yes. Wala bigeto drong na broda solo. I think Saim si na close ding atare ko moma request o send si close jandu sign teng. Na broda bula maybe okay. Yes. Janin be bulala Mr. Boy janin be bulala drum. Lafta tentu la nge jay nga foy ko baraka bake. Ye time momenta pruka bula pruka na ka join yung program kumato. Menketan na program of national youth engagement on irregular migration pour nalia kacha alake kulu walbe menke kan Gambia banko kay se fintino nyamen si motivation o dialla ane mo koton la Gambia banko kan pour kaje ko bakwe anen ku kotoni walsi sono ya no nyamen warante talaro sikala kontanta bake pour ke soto janto bafule ka baraka bake yela time o membula pour kana join Global Rainbow TV to meli alon ko fana be jibero la fana ngal tentu ngal jay atele mo episode 60 temela baken be do fana natla de sol kono be continue la nganna funding ke tangi engage ka inyandi fanto kaje ko be do kol mella still na handi be so kono they can still make it up there wala fisa yala do kol bula yala mechol bula ya nyimba kweta at the end of the day tiñaro e nake mbe hakilo temen kan comme ça bakwe ka diamo collective responsibility lamu ning aman koti dron abe kole ala ba kele pour ngan kutala oto atel mel fanal be jibero la ngal tentu ngal jay Mr. Boy jande be bulala fulong laftala dron after men follow dron isi wokuma labon for wokola ngane bula nim febbe dai lafta men fola me nyinin kamena you want to say something, can you please come and say it?
Yeah, baraka bake. Nga JK tend to bake, and thank you very much for the invitation. And then Wolfanan Bay Kontong Jay Milanko, whatever Jibero Mil Selta, Nimin Mansero, Mobe JK tend to, coming Doromimbi, all into ko, Mamin for comment Dorong. Disability is all inclusive, so you cannot just say, Benjana Kalatan Yankan, Niwa Kalakan, at least Mobe Daikije, coming what time of the nominated National Assembly member Kahunyam, there is Kahunya, nothing for us without us. So meaning never for Kala, Ibakala, Mobe like all inclusive code. So with that, mobile role sort of is not only, government's responsibility, individually, if you can help any person with disability, either with technology or education or if you can do any little effort, as a life upgrade, it's necessary. It is important, because little help. It take a little but it takes them a long way. Okay, to map back, so what be about government encourage to it like equal accessibility so and the persons with disabilities here. Kabo school for institutional loptano to dawa technology for they are making life easy for everybody. Technology mobile ba nafano. Any persons minyanong ke man disabled ningo technology say all mako then the same technology near accessibility mechanisms will be put in place. It can help a person with disability support batije ita ku jama then model something with the same technology as okay so wala biye kamobe je kamobe tentu and to say thank you very much, and then makolo mol fana comme ya fo nyam earlier on, online Islamic TV nyimbola account or use kan ñom wol fana follow wata inshallah.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much. Apetata bake ila conclusion o nyin be tentula bake once again nge jay comme ça nga funya mendro yela time o membula pour kana ka jon nyin kacha kumato kacha mo fenete me alonko kono fanuta bake anu fenna me alonko abe mol nafala bake yekumal fojanto kumol me alonko ya motivation o di mo jamal la andu be motivation o di la mo jamal la sama sino ine mol si bonne sa fa kon kon nge global rebo tv that you try a lot yakata bake so yel mo fenete me alonka important bake otomele alonko be la moro la drone be me fula la drone please jandabe jila ala account nya be me use kan drone alinga taje to fana nga follow jeto ibaje la ko ne program ol nati jeto drone alsi keno moti mo yalonko alsi program on yil taka so comme ça ngafona diamo kono several time mbe jambe nyoma ko e kan drone kanyo compliment mbole ke ka janto so woto alila page jinta alia follow ibaje la ko me alonka aka najeto so Mr boye men famu fennete me alonka kumata bake le momon ding ning atare ko yenye mo sifal soto ila suo kono inon si katoke dronga makoiro kela idandanya kata school to bang ke comfort jeto ke motivate jeto amu fennete me alonka importanta bake sate o kono sometimes sa mare mutore na finti bantoto ina kartala mo kota on saje ko okay nyimbe jin condition men kono bara felenta nala broda bitakan felenta nala broda be kekan wol be mo example wol to mu yalonko sate kono ko fanal niyo jerek e fanal kaje ko okay nyin abukeje finkin tawlo bari ala mol felenti ibe yaay kante be fenkela ten nyol mo fennete me alonko they are very very important so le ke no mo nyoe kaje ko nyim mo sifal ni be na family kono ibe society kono do manyane filla koma manyane isolate la nyante talala nge katandem fanna kase ko kaje ko itol mo normal person let like ntol be nyame so nyim fennete me alonka important dakada government la side fanana they have a role to play greater role to play in fact na institutional to kaji be ko people with disability be sella official kono nyadi le would lal to jeto ibita jonkon to nyadi le some of the institutions they have these things loptanol to but still na dula do libi jeto me sotono kaje ko pusola babla bitanyo nyadi le staple kate sell nola so every institution inyante dedala in a way ko kaje ko everybody can have access to that place without any hindrance so these are very very important woto mbadi unu ngal tento once again ali alla time o membula pour kanel lamwe global rainbow tv la janto nina luntamba menketa boyti bafla le ko ala baraka bake maybe for lundo mbaltala be nyosot la janto ko dege boy abaraka bake nge tentu nge jay nga fo ko thank you so much once again thank you so much we are very pleased to have you here it's a pleasure to have you bro yeah thank you so much okay thank you bye